And now to a developing story on the University of Chicago campus. Tensions are rising on the Quad at this hour between pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli groups. Christian Farr is live on campus with reaction for us. Christian.
Yeah, Marion, we're not far away from that encampment that's been set up here since Monday, pro-Palestinian encampment. And this afternoon, we are told that at about 12:30, there was some tension between those pro-Palestinian protesters and some counter-protesters that had planned to protest here. We had heard earlier that the university was possibly going to take this encampment down in the morning. That did not happen. But when that tension happened between those two groups, that's when university police came out here. You're looking at protest video after all of this happened. University police are here, some of them dressed in what looks like riot gear. They have shields and also helmets and also batons. But there was nothing going on when we got here except for some people on bullhorns shouting at others. There's a very, very small counter-protest that we were told was much larger when all of this happened again at about 12:30. We spoke to Alderman Byron Cincho Lopez and also someone else about what happened. Hear what they had to say.
A very small group of people in black shirts, trying to provoke, instigate. They got so close, screaming on people's faces, trying to get into the encampments, trying to create chaos. Some of these elements I don't see anymore.
We came in, we marched to show our appreciation for this country. They posted up with signs, with shields. So we were physically in an altercation for a little while. Ultimately, things did calm down slightly, and we now have police marching on the Quad at some point, perhaps.
And again, university police, not Chicago police here, some of them wearing what appears to be riot gear, shields, helmets, and also with batons. We saw staff of the Chicago Police Department's News Affairs Office out here just overseeing things, but no Chicago police officers are here. We have yet to hear from the university at this point, but we're going to continue to follow this, and we'll have updates for you at 5 and at 6 o'clock, and also in our mobile app, NBC Chicago. For now, reporting live on the campus of the University of Chicago, Christian Farr, NBC 5 News.
Tonight, protesters are still camped out at the University of Chicago campus. The university says it's at an impasse in negotiations. But today, a confrontation at the encampment when counter-protesters showed up. NBC 5's Randy Gyllenhaal is at the U of C now live to tell us exactly what happened, Randy.
Yeah, so Chicago, of course, well known as a bastion of free speech, but that is being tested tonight with the university president hinting it may be time to remove this pro-Palestine encampment. While today, counter-protesters carrying Israeli and American flags descended on the Quad. It led to some skirmishes and calls to 911.
Palestine group, Israel group getting into altercation. All right, they got fights going on in the main Quad. Can I get some more units?
On this fifth day of the encampment, tensions much higher in Hyde Park. University of Chicago releasing a letter saying they value free speech, but because of disruption to class, vandalism, and shouting at other students, the administration is preparing to remove this tent city. The Palestine protesters want UChicago to divest from any stock funds with links to Israel. They set up this no-cop zone on the Quad, while some Jewish students on campus tell NBC5 they have felt harassment just walking by.
For me, it mostly crosses the line with, again, the language they use, some of the slogans they use, where I think they're openly calling for violence against Jewish people internationally.
It doesn't really matter the religion. I think anybody who believes in the Israeli state, the Israeli state brutalizes Palestinians.
Encampment organizers tell me they do not condone violence, but they will not leave, they say, even amid threats of removal. No deadline has been set, but talks between the university and this protest group have broken down. Meantime, Chicago's mayor also weighing in, saying he, too, values free speech, but has also spoken with the Chicago Police Department about de-escalation. For now, we're live here in Hyde Park. Randy Gyllenhaal, NBC 5 News.
Randy, thank you for the update.
Good morning. Alice Yin of the Chicago Tribune. This is for the mayor and superintendent. The UChicago president released a statement just now saying we have reached that point where the encampment set up by pro-Palestinian demonstrators must be cleared. Would you support the university forcibly removing students there? And at what point would CPD be authorized to assist UCPD?
Our ultimate goal is to make sure that people are safe, and anytime demonstration is being delivered, and we're going to continue to assess all of these demonstrations and these moments of demonstration. We're at a critical point in our nation's history, and so protecting people's First Amendment right, of course, is paramount. But again, it really requires full assessment. The superintendent and I, we've been in constant communication along with my chief of staff and deputy mayor for community safety around a host of things that we can implement if and when intervention is needed. We're also paying attention to what's happening around the country. One of the things that I'm actually very proud of is Superintendent Snelling's commitment to constitutional policing and de-escalation, as well as making sure we're providing a safe, secure place where the First Amendment can ultimately be protected. But we will continue to evaluate and assess these demonstrations throughout the remainder of however long they last.
From a law enforcement perspective, and the mayor is 100% right, the number one thing that we're committed to is making sure that people can express their First Amendment rights. What we're more concerned about than anything else is the safety of everyone. We can talk about the encampments. The question is, what's happening with the encampments? Are there violent acts at these locations? Are people in danger? Those are the things that we would be most concerned about. Obviously, we're in communication with leadership in most of these situations. What we don't want to do as a police department is escalate any situation unnecessarily. So we take our time, we assess these situations, and if it's not necessary for us to go in and attempt to start removing people, then we won't. What we'll do is rely on those universities and the campuses to determine what needs to be done on their end, and we'll work with them if necessary to get to provide them any help if necessary.
And to quickly follow up, can you respond to the ACLU filing a lawsuit against the city and saying that the DNC protest permit denials are unconstitutional and that Chicago is unprepared for the event?
We are prepared for the DNC. There are ongoing conversations that we are having with not just local police, the local police department, but the Secret Service as well. My vision for the DNC ultimately is to have a safe, energetic, vibrant convention. And I'm confident that we will be able to deliver that. As far as applications are concerned, there are parameters in which we are working with that individuals who wish to demonstrate, we're asking those individuals work within those parameters. If there is a mayor that understands the value of protests, it's me. I've led many demonstrations before, and I understand the value of being able to express your political belief or ideas in order to move our government. That's why I'm mayor of the city of Chicago now. But there are a host of considerations and factors that I have to keep front and center. And again, making sure that those who wish to protest and demonstrate, as they should be able to, that we're doing that in a safe, secure space, but we're also allowing all aspects of government to continue to take place during that week.